This is me at 6:52 a.m. Why am I awake? Disney reservations.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. We are 2 more days away from Disney, and I finally finished everybody's masks. They all have fiberglass-free HEPA filter layers on the inside. Yay! This one's mine. I took it in at the bottom because it was a little too big for me. Yay! So excited. So you get an entire cabin to yourself in the monorail instead of being squished in with other people. And then they have like dividers up between the cabin. And we're touching everything. It is literally so empty. Nobody back there.
And that was where my GoPro unexpectedly died, but don't worry because we come back there on day 3. It was Dalvin's first trip, see the button. So anyway, to Hollywood Studios, day 2.
Like, okay, really? Nobody? This is so cool. Ready. Hold that for a second, I'm gonna jump.
Very profitable expeditions.
Let's go. Come on, man.
Order train shipment of Goasia.
So you get an entire ship to yourself.
Line up behind the train. And engineers.
Which means you can be pilot, gunner, engineer, whatever you want. Alright, press the green button.
Engineers. Automatic repair engaged.
So next we went to Toy Story Mania, which was awesome. There was no line at all, and we just walked right on. It got stuck, so that was good for my 2-year-old to kind of figure out how to play.
Good job! Yeah! Okay, that's the entrance of Hollywood Studios. And I just got front row parking. What the heck? And there's not even a space filled behind me. And I don't know if you can tell, but literally the parking lot is nowhere near full, and they're only using this side of the parking lot, not even that side of the parking lot. Like, it is basically empty. We're just coming back after nap time, and it's 5:08, and we literally just got front row parking. Like, what? So there is literally nobody here. So we're just taking turns riding Slinky Dog Dash over and over again and swapping out who sits with Riker because he's not quite tall enough yet. And we're just riding it over and over and over again. You just hop straight on. This last 30 minutes, it's literally just basically been our park. And when they're parking the cars, they're doing it where they're spaced out. That way you're not getting out next to other people. So they're even social distancing the parking. And then as you can see down there, once they fill up a lane, they come back and they start filling up the other lanes once those people have already gone into the park.
To avoid drawing crowds, they have canceled parades and instead they're doing character cavalcades, which are completely unannounced, and it's either like horse-drawn carriage like this one, or they'll use the full-on parade floats full of characters, and they're just unannounced and really fun.
Whoa! There's like nobody here. Let's go! We're going this way! We're in a socially distanced relaxation station with a bird. Oh, he was right next to us, like right next to us, right next to us. There is nobody in the line for Dumbo with us. That's a cast member.
I'm not going to go high soon.
And the playground inside is just completely covered with like a whole wall. There's only one family on the whole Dumbo ride. And there's where they're building Tron. Looks awesome. The whole line queue for Barnstormer. There's like nobody. Oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
No.
Oh, butterfly.
No.
Are you ready?
No.
Here we go. Whoa! Good job, man.
Wait. Why did it stop?
This is over.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
You want to go again?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I'm loving the monorail without all the crowds. Yeah. They only let one family per section. Literally perfect. Go! I've been waiting for this moment! We got ponchos! Wait, babe, you can walk with ponchos! I was hoping we'd hit a huge Disney summer rain so we'd get to use the ponchos!
Rain skis.
We all have matching ponchos because he has red and he has red. And me and the littlest guy have blue, but we just have him in there. So he's not wearing the blue one. Hold on, babe! is awesome. This is so awesome. Woo! When you accidentally drop your granola bar in the parking lot. It's a Kind bar. It's really good for them. Yay. Watch out, birds.
Magic, they're whipping you.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you for the Kind bar.
So kind.
Come back later.
So kind. Coming back to Magic Kingdom after nap time. Again, they aren't filling these back parking lots at all. This one's just full of buses. I guess they aren't using all their buses because there's less people here. I mean, these back parking lots are just not being used in every single park. And they're only filling the first, like, character space. I've just got front row parking again. This is the closest parking that's not electric vehicle or handicap parking to the transportation center to Magic Kingdom. That is wild. 2 days in a row, front row parking after nap time. I feel like I should also add that stroller parking is not a problem at all. This is the Pirates of the Caribbean stroller parking, and literally usually it's like multiple rows all the way down and nobody can find parking. All right, come on, Avon. Arrgh, pirate fight.
Whoa.
Arrgh, I see.
Phew, good thing you used my...
Arrgh. Arrgh. Arrgh, let's go, mateys.
Peter Pan was so ridiculously empty. It was walk on both days that we were here at Magic Kingdom, and literally that's one of those rides where normally you either fast pass it or you can't go. I tried to record the entire line queue, but I couldn't because it gets too dark. Same with like The Little Mermaid.
Avon's driving us. All right, let's go home. So see you next time. Well, that was ridiculous amounts of fun. Even with the social distancing and everything, they still have characters going along on the parade floats, which is like the coolest. If anything, it's just so much better because there's no crowds. Like, there's still total Disney magic. Like, I love it. It's awesome. This is so awesome. We're gonna come here like probably 2 or 3 more times before this year's over, while they're still doing all of this like social distancing, because it is so nice. Bye bye, water. Bye bye, Disney. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. Monkey?
Home to the Victoria's Under Report, offering the model full-service spa and health club.
Whoa! I probably look like a mess right now. But literally yesterday I was freaking out because we were in the first row of parking. This time we were the closest parking space to Magic Kingdom. The closest parking space after nap time. Like, the closest parking space that's not handicapped or electric car. What? Hey, okay, so we've been back for a week and I just wanted to hit on a couple things that I noticed I missed in the vlog. So the masks, I thought they were gonna be terrible, and I really thought they were gonna be so hot and it was just gonna be an awful difference. But actually, I would explain it being kind of like the way that a shirt feels when it's hot. Like, it wasn't very noticeable. There were actually 2 times that I got off rides and I thought, what is on my face? And I was like, oh yeah, a mask. And even my kids forgot they were on, and I can tell because like Riker would try to eat something at the relaxation station and put it on his mask, and I'd be like, oh no, you can't eat that one, it's dirty, and we'd take off his mask, but they'd totally forget that it was even on and try to like eat or drink through it. So that actually went really well. And then, I mean, we've been back for a week now and we touched everything. I mean, like, it kind of disturbed me a little bit how much we touched everything, but like the kids, you know, grabbing onto the rails and the line cues and everything, even though the play stuff in the line cues were like closed, like you couldn't spin the barrels in Snow White or play with any of the things in the Pooh Bear line, but they still touched everything. And I mean, we've been back for a little over a week now and we still don't have any coronavirus symptoms, so I think that went well. There were hand sanitizer stations at the entrance, sometimes in the middle of the line queues, and at the exit of every single ride. So we were literally hand sanitizing our hands at the beginning and at the end of each line queue. There were also hand wash stations. And then when we were going back to the hotel, we were literally showering and changing clothes every single time before we laid in bed, like even for nap time, and keeping the corona, like, virus infected, the park clothes, we were keeping those in a completely separate place from all of the others. So I was very paranoid about it. We were in quarantine for 17 weeks before we went on this trip. So this was the first time that we actually left. We literally, I mean, now we're just back in quarantine, but we hadn't even gotten groceries. We did grocery delivery for 17 weeks. So this was the first time we'd left in 17 weeks, and now we just kind of went back to quarantine. But yeah, so it went really well. We just basically rode everything over and over again all day, and we rode like everything. I didn't include some of the line cues because they were really, really dark, like Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, Haunted Mansion, but I mean, you just hopped straight on. Haunted Mansion wasn't doing the stretching room anymore. Instead, you'd just walk through and it was a line, and the room was already stretched upward and you just walked through it. So no more like all cramming in and watching the room stretch. And then the food, we didn't do any of the dining there. We just did fast food, and then we ate some in our hotel because our hotel had a kitchen. But they still had dining reservations open. The first day we were there on Saturday, they were just giving people food. The next day, Sunday, they decided that people had to sit down to eat food, which everybody was basically doing anyway. We were doing it anyway. I saw a couple people that first day that would like walk and just kind of lift their mask and drink some water and put it back down. But by the second day we were there, they had changed that rule, and everybody, when they were handing you food at the concession stands, like the popcorn stands, they were telling you had to go sit down before you could take off your mask and eat, which is a really good idea. It's what we were doing anyway, so I'm glad that they enacted that. Yeah, and then if you have souvenir popcorn buckets, which they're still selling, then they were just giving you a like paper, normal cardboard, whatever that hard paper bin of popcorn was, they were just giving you that instead of actually grabbing your refill bucket and refilling it. And then most of the like popcorn pretzel stands, I'd say half of them were closed. So you just had to do a little more walking to find one, but they were there. So yeah, overall, I'd say they did really well. Everybody was wearing their masks. There was social distancing. There were a couple times where people didn't social distance, but that's just like walking by, things like that. Like especially in the stores, it would sometimes get a little cramped. You might like go within people's 6-foot bubble at times, but for the most part, it was so spread out, and you could definitely at all times, I think, avoid being within 6 feet from people. We were in the Little Mermaid queue on like the 4th time we were riding it, and there were some people who weren't, like, they were coming a little closer to us, and I was like, oh hey, I'm sorry, I'm really paranoid, can you back up to your line? Because they have lines everywhere. That was the only time I'd ever experienced someone not social distancing, and she was super nice. She was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think she'd actually forgotten about it, so I don't know, it seemed to work. I don't know, it just seemed to work out, so yeah, pretty good. It was ridiculous amounts of fun though.